We can afford a TV. This is the Big Sunday Show. Joining me tonight is the enforcer, Des.
Good evening.
How are you
Um,
doing?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm good. Good to be here. Good to talk about Arsenal because it's one of the things I love to talk about. And yeah, hopefully the chat will be busy and we'll have loads of things to say. And let's crack on.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But yeah, a lot to talk, as you say. Yeah, no show last week, and yeah, welcome to the life of being on top of the league and actually everything meaningful. So yeah, join us after a quick little intro. So yeah, we missed out on talking about Man United, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
And I can safely say that game itself was probably one of the most electric games I've seen at the Emirates for a long, long time.
Oh, mate,
Um,
I
it was
tell you.
like on the to hear, but it was immense just from the start um, to to the end. Obviously, the drama at the end with the goal, and it was one of those moments where VAR come and you right at the end, and you're suddenly thinking we're obviously all celebrating. We're suddenly just like suddenly thinking, oh, it's going to VAR, and it's like take the emotion totally out of the game. But luckily, yeah, it was in our favour, and it was obviously a sensible call because I'm not sure what they were checking or at that time, but I was pretty certain he was on side, but it was just yeah, a nervous wait, wasn't it? So yeah, but that game itself, I was again quite nervous. Were you, Des? So obviously, it was the first Arsenal Man United game that has been relevant. Two relevant teams battling for top places, and you go back to those games, Arsene Wenger versus Alex Ferguson, the tension, the drama, and yeah, I think that's just how it is, just from those games. Where you do have those kind of nerves. Not so much you're thinking that we were going to struggle, because I still think that we've done really well. What were your feelings before the game?
To be quite honest, mate, and only because of what's been going on this season, yeah,
Yeah,
I wasn't nervous because um, the Emirates has become a fortress. So I just felt that, and no one's really beaten us at home yet, have they? So
no,
so I went into it not cocky because you've got to stay humble, especially when you're at top of the table. You've got to stay humble. But I felt it. I thought I was like winding me. I was winding me Man U mates up, saying, "Nah, we've got you." You know what I mean? And then when Rashford scored, which was a killer, it was a quality goal, quality.
yeah,
I wasn't even nervous then. Wasn't because it's happened so many times this season already. And then, all right, it wasn't 2 minutes to go down the other end and score one. They made us wait a while, but I just knew it was coming. And the way we were playing as well, we were owning the midfield. The defence were not letting anybody past them. I mean, going back to the Rashford goal for a second, it was a mistake by Partey, just a loose pass, wasn't it? So, you know,
yeah. We could say it's an error. We know that those kind of passes where you try to break lines are,
mm,
or do have an element of risk in there.
yeah, of course,
Had he have got that ball through, then Ben White is free on the wing. Well, no, we were talking about it. It was literally just, obviously you could see it obviously in the ground,
yeah,
just like you could see on the telly. But if it goes through him, he's away. And the
yeah,
way we started, I thought it was really good. I thought we were in control. And yeah, United started picking up the ball, and they were being a little bit domineering in the middle. They seemed to get obviously you've got your spoilers, you've got your McTominays, and just yeah, just players in and around, and then with the pace that they've got with Rashford, you never know. But yeah, it was a well taken goal, and yeah, he benefited from that pass. But to make it happen, yeah, well done because it was a good goal. But for us to bounce back within 7 or 8 minutes, I think it was Eddie.
Eddie, mate, Eddie. Honestly, different player this season, isn't he? Eddie, though.
Look, I've said all along he's got a point to prove, and
Yeah.
he's got to show. He's got to show it, and I've said all along you've got to give him time.
Sorry, that's my dog. Sorry, mate. Go on.
So yeah, you got to give him time, and yeah, he's not a marquee signing, which unfortunately disgruntles some of the fan base. But again, he's got 2 years. I say to do what he wants to do, and
Yeah.
as I say, score goals and get game time in a first choice 11 for Arsenal.
Well, he's proving people wrong as well, anyway. Let's be honest. He's shutting a lot of people up,
Yeah,
as is Arteta. Because where are all the Arteta outs now? You know
well,
what I mean?
yeah, I think they're lurking. I think they're lurking
Yeah, they're
for
just waiting for it, mate.
any kind of real excuse. But I don't know. I look at that goal, it was quite nice. I thought it was the two United wide defenders. What was it?
Oh, Basaka and
Wan-Bissaka
Wan-Bissaka
and
and
Shaw, wasn't it?
yeah,
And they kind of had them a little bit tied up. And I felt as that, certainly as the game went on, I saw us being very, very reliant on that right hand side through down with Saka.
yeah,
Anytime we switched the ball to Martinelli, um, nothing really seemed to happen because it was being outnumbered because there was no
yeah,
kind of overlapping run down that side, and so it made things a bit more predictable down that right hand side with Saka. But I just thought overall we did handle the game just like the away game though, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. I mean, we should have won that one, shouldn't we? We should have won
We
that.
did have a lot of control in that game,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just by obviously that the way the game went, it was a bit disappointing.
Ericsson
But
was doing a lot of defending, wasn't he?
what?
Ericsson was doing a lot of defending.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, that free kick was awful. So yeah, so we just look at it and you think 1-1 in that game, and you've got Saka at the end. Or sorry, about 8 minutes, 8 9 minutes. Um, yeah, 8 or 9 minutes after the half time, wasn't it? There's Saka,
yeah.
and that goal was.
Go on then, Paul. Let me put you on the spot, right? No bias. What was a better goal, Rashford's or Saka's? I mean, it's all right to say Saka. I'm not going to, but do you know what I mean? They were both quality goals, but
Again, you can dice or you can split them from saying if you look at Rashford being as a striker,
Mhm.
that is a very good striker's goal.
Excuse me.
But for Saka for coming from wide to come back inside and curl the ball in, and as soon as that ball bounced, I'm like saying because I'm literally in line with that shot. So as it was curling
right.
in, and I'm basically behind the goal, and I just as soon as it kind of bounced, I was like, it's going in. And it was obviously then bounce, and then suddenly you saw the guy just stop and say, "Oh, yeah, I'm not getting there," and then it went in, and it was just like. But I would say I think Saka from just where he was
Mm.
to put it in, and he almost got a second like that as well, didn't he? Just got
Yeah, I mean, and it was like a carbon copy on it. And
Yeah.
you know what? You know what it was with the first one when he scored? The Gea
Yeah.
could have had all week, and he still wouldn't have got to it.
No, it was a really good goal. But as I say,
Yeah.
Rashford's goal was really good. You look at that, and he meant the strike, and everything about it was just clinical, and it was
Yeah.
done. But both are great goals. But I would side with Saka because he's
Obviously, it's all
he's
right.
Arsenal.
Yeah,
He's Arsenal. He's Arsenal. So we'll take it. Two
Excuse me.
two really good goals.
Oh yeah, they were quality goals. And I'll be honest, I'd have Rashford at Arsenal. I would. Considering Man U would go like, get rid of him, the fan base were like, get rid of him, get rid of him. I would have had him at Arsenal.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way they're going to get rid of him, are they?
No, not now. Not now.
Yeah,
Not now.
no way. No way.
And then
No.
the smallest defender in the world scored one, didn't he?
Yeah. That. Yeah. You had the corner and it come in, and yeah, again, divisory about who headed it.
Mm,
Well, we know who headed it,
yeah,
but whose fault it was.
yeah,
And yeah, you look at it and you see it coming over. Someone was then, I think we come out when obviously we obviously know Ramsdale's playing with a broken knuckle.
yeah. He's got a broken finger, isn't he? Yeah,
Yeah, I think he's done it. I think apparently he's done his knuckle or something like that, and he's got special gloves that only have like one finger for two, or two fingers
right.
for one glove finger.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were then alluding to,
Yeah.
that we're playing him injured and he's fumbled the ball, but
Yeah,
I think it was more the fact that he's come out for the ball, and as he's gone to grab the ball, he's had contact, which has jolted the ball out. And
yeah,
overall, it was a not enough communication there.
yeah. Totally. Because I've also heard people say, "Oh, but he flapped at it." No, if you look at it again, he didn't flap it. He just,
Yeah,
as you say, he actually had it. Someone shouldered him.
he's got it in two, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's bobbled from contact, which can
Exactly.
happen. But
Yeah,
again,
of course they can. Yeah, of course.
again, if that communication is strong, quick from him, then that defender doesn't really go for it or try
That's
to
it.
do it. I can't remember who it was.
I mean, I must be honest. Gabriel did a good attempt to trying to get it off the line.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, he was on. He knew where it was going and he was ready for it. It just went, instead of going forwards, it went up, didn't it? So
yeah. No,
these
definitely.
things happen as well. These things happen as well. But it made it a better game because for me, it's the best game I've seen Arsenal play this season. Even though, don't get me wrong, smashing Spurs is always paramount, right? But in the style of the game and how it was played, and the goals that were scored, it was a high scoring game. It was end to end a lot of the time until the second half, and then it slowed down a bit for Man United. And I think the referee made it. I think give credit to the referee for once. He let it flow.
Yeah, I think we were all talking that. I think that was probably one of the main topics for that game, weren't they? Just like the referee.
Mm.
We had us like saying about him. It was Anthony Taylor, wasn't it? And everyone's, oh God, I can't believe he's refereeing Arsenal. He's rubbish. He's from Manchester. Blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
And and then you had Man United fans saying, "Oh no, not Anthony Taylor.
Mm.
He's biased for down south." And it was like,
What are you talking about? Shut up.
yeah, it's like, I don't think we've ever had a really really good game with him in charge. But
No.
look, we got the job done, and yeah, we could have easily dropped again.
Yeah,
Could have easily said maybe that kind of belief where we suddenly think, okay, well they've come back again, and it's like, well, we're just cracking. But no, we stuck to it. And
yeah.
I think even we got stronger.
Yeah,
And
I think we did in the second half. Yeah, totally.
so I was expecting United when they went 2-2 to maybe look to have gone for it, but they tried to shore it up a little bit. I'm trying to think who they.
You rate
They brought on their main kind of guy to kind of like shore it up, didn't they, Fred? And yeah, and it's like one of those where you suddenly just you had them coming off. Anthony was rubbish.
Oh, mate, I don't rate him at all. I don't know why they paid so much
No.
money for him.
And yeah, so they kind of sat back a little bit, and yeah, look, we kept on pushing them, we kept on pushing them back, and at the end of the day, we were kind of camped in their half, and it was constantly coming backwards and forward, and they couldn't deal with it. And
No.
look, that Nketiah goal at the end was
Cheeky. It was cheeky, wasn't it?
no, but I just look at the whole kind of how it happened, and
Yeah.
and you look at those iconic goals where the place erupts, and
Oh,
yeah, you see the goals. I remember the goals against, say, like Juventus at home, 4-1. A
Mhm.
little Freddie Ljungberg dink over the keeper,
Freddie
but
Lumber.
then just like that. But it was just the way it just come along, and it was just so nice just to see and being in the ground just for that, and a last minute winner in a game that means a lot
The
was
atmosphere must have been
well,
amazing for you, mate. It must have been
it
amazing
was
for you.
it's immense, and you look at you look at that North London derby. I think that even buoyed you even more, and it
Yeah,
gives you confidence.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that would have given you confidence going into this game,
yeah,
and then whatever confidence would take you into that next one. And obviously, we're a lot more confident than what we were, but it's those results that are going to make you more and more, certainly more assured. Anyway,
yeah,
I would say.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, a 3-2 win. Nice.
yeah. I'll take it all day long, mate. I'll take it all
So
day long.
yeah. So then the next game, uh,
Hey,
I made a little trip up to Manchester, and I drove up there. We stayed over, and yeah,
did you
7.
take did you take all the family, or was it you and a couple of mates? Or
No, I couldn't get enough tickets. I was hoping I was going to get another 2 or 3, and I might have been able to chuck a couple more
yeah,
in. So I might have been able to take one of the twins or whatever.
all right.
But yeah, just managed to get a mate and his son for his first away
Oh, that's
game,
that's that's
and
cool.
yeah,
What
and then
the,
my brother. So yeah, took him to there. So that was good. Catching up with him, but yeah, it was a decent trip, and those 7,500 fans, unbelievable. I don't know what it was
oh,
like.
mate.
I've not seen it back, but
I didn't hear the man's hands at all. I didn't hear him at all. And it's weird
no,
because I tell you, mate. Honestly, this season you hear the Arsenal fans over everybody.
yeah,
You know,
I'm
and
certainly away.
it's crazy.
Certainly away from home with those fans, they'll always stand out. But it was really weird, and I was expecting more. You know, I mean, I've been to Anfield, I've been to Old Trafford, I've
Yeah,
been to say like your Dortmunds, and you know, what I mean, the yellow wall,
yeah.
and you see the atmospheres.
Hmm.
I was expecting FA Cup, Arsenal first, Man City second,
Hmm.
FA Cup game under the lights. I was expecting some real good atmosphere where the fans will be up for it. It's a Friday night as well,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
you're thinking they'll really be up for it, and there was nothing, literally nothing. The light show before the game. I don't know if they showed that on the telly.
I only know that it happened, mate. I don't know
Yeah,
what it
they
was.
do, they do this little light show with all these flashing lights, and then they suddenly just like present these little pictures of the players on the pitch.
All right,
That
okay.
looked smart, and that was
Yeah,
probably the smartest thing out of. That was probably the most atmosphere they made in the stadium. Like, it was
cool.
just so weird. It was, but they look that's them. I'm glad we're not them, and I'm glad I don't have a seat in that stadium every week, because it'd
Yeah.
be I'd be they're just spoiled. I find them
I was going to
spoiled.
say, do you think they've become? I mean, if you think about it, mate, right? Manchester City were a nowhere team for a very, very long time. Yeah,
Yeah,
a bit like Chelsea were. Chelsea were a nowhere team for a long time, and then Abramovich come along, and that was it.
yeah,
Um, same at Man City, and I think the fans have become, well, we're better than everybody else kind of attitude, and they take things for granted. I think, but they're very bitter and twisted when they lose.
I found yeah. I thought
You know?
we had some trouble. Well, not so much. We had trouble getting out. Yeah, they're a bit. We got warned by a few of the like the bouncers in some of the pubs
Mm.
around like in the afternoon, just like saying, yeah, try not to wear colours or whatever, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
sitting targets, and
To be
it's
honest,
that it's the north south divide. I get that, but as I say, I've been to Man United. You'll always get the banter,
yeah,
but again, Old Trafford is supposed to be labelled a stadium for the tourists.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
grotty, mate. It's
the
grotty.
song the song we were singing when Danny Welbeck scored against them in the
Right.
FA Cup. It's like, we'll race you back to London. to
Aye.
all their fans because obviously they're coming from down south, and it was like, yeah, that's them. But they had more atmosphere.
Yeah.
The City, who apparently they're the proper true Mancunians.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're suddenly thinking, yeah, it's just weird. It's very strange, but it weren't half as strange as suddenly getting that team news.
What
Um,
with the 6 changes?
with the 6 changes, I had expected both teams to have put in a full strength squad. I honestly thought that they would both go for it, and we play obviously first. Yeah, so
Mm.
we've still got 8 days. They don't play until the following Sunday, so they got another extra day. So I was expecting two full strength sides and see where it goes. And
Yeah. Yeah.
you look at it like that, but then to suddenly see 6 changes, and you're like, oh blimey.
That told you something, though, didn't it?
It did. It
Yeah.
did at that point
Yeah. Yeah.
where you're suddenly
Yeah.
thinking, you're looking at it, and you're thinking, God, blimey, I hope. Yeah, I hope we don't get tonked. That was it. You're always thinking, like, well, if we do put a weakened side, that was my only complaint. Is if we put a weakened team out, then you don't want to be going there and just getting annihilated.
No. Which we
Because
didn't,
that,
in fairness. We didn't, in fairness. But
no, we didn't, and then that we'll go on to that afterwards, and that was the major surprise.
it wasn't 5-0
So
like it was last time. Do you know what I mean? So,
now look, I thought the first half, I thought it was really decent. I thought, barring a couple of nervy kind of like touches of the ball, I thought there was a couple of little sly fouls
yeah.
for
Yeah.
City. Certainly Haaland, and he
Yeah.
loves to go down as well. He's very easy to go down.
Oh, mate, for such a big lad,
He got
he goes
holding
down like
booked.
a fairy, doesn't he? He goes
Yeah,
like a
although
fairy.
Holding's holding, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But they're both holding, so you were suddenly thinking a yellow card for that was probably a bit silly. I know he kind of went in and had one foul, but again, yeah, it was soft. It was soft to give, and certainly I think there were a couple of other fouls that probably could have been punished
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
cards that weren't again. But yeah, we looked at it and we thought, okay, well, yeah, we've gone in at half time 0-0, but
Mm.
that first half we had some chances there,
Yeah, we
and
did. I mean, Trossard, mate. Oh, what a signing! I've got to say, right? I'm a little bit excited here, right? Okay.
yeah,
Do you know who? I'll tell you who he reminds me of before we talk about him for a second, right?
yeah,
Santi Cazorla. He's got a touch of Santi Cazorla there, mate. The way he took the way he was trying to get into that penalty area, and even though you could tell he wanted a shot, but he didn't mind if he knocked it off to someone. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
it was just, I had Santi Cazorla written all over it, mate.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that also in the Man United game when he come on, he had his cameo,
Yeah, yeah, oh
and
mate,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
interesting as well. But to see his shot, you even had Tomiyasu, absolute
oh
belter
mate,
shot.
that was a
And
cracking shot, wasn't it? If he'd have just kept that low, if he'd kept it low, that'd have gone in all day long.
yeah, but he struck it so well. That was it. That
Yeah,
was it. There was no way of probably keeping it down
yeah,
just because
maybe
he struck it.
he was
But that
taking tips
keeper,
off a party. He was taking tips off a party, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah, and I talk about the changes we made, but they pretty much only really changed the keeper. Really, in all honesty, they're
Well,
all in and around.
in all honesty, mate, right? I said it. I think I said it. Yeah, because I did a show with Alex last Sunday because we did a show after the Man U game because he
Yeah,
wanted to do a post match show, and to be honest, it was the game to do a post match show for. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I was
And
glad.
and I think the question was asked in the chat, FA Cup or the league, and I turned around and said, I'm Arsenal through and through. I want Arsenal to win everything we go in for. I want them to win it, right? But like you, when I saw those 6 changes, I was a little bit like, oh dear, you know what I mean? Not that I don't rate the guys that were there, because they deserve a run out. They do deserve a run out. But Arteta, to me, was playing mind games because it was we could win it, but don't be upset if we don't. Do you know, to the team, I mean, yeah, we could
Yeah,
win it, but don't be upset if we don't. And even though I want them to go and win the FA Cup, You can honestly tell that game told you that Arteta is totally focusing on the league, totally. Because I tell you now, when they come, I know we've got to play them twice, right? When they come to our grounds, mate, and we put out our first team, we're going to strip them. Honestly, we are absolutely going to strip them. Now, I don't know if it will be the same up at their end, but I think I think Arteta's gone for a slight psychological advantage the next time we play them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. No, I kind of said similar to my brother, and it was yeah, you've got this. You're probably keeping your cards close to your chest. Again, you don't
Yeah,
want to be giving away too much about how potentially you'll face up. And again, if we're talking about squad depth and we're talking about maybe rotating, these players have got to play, haven't they?
yeah, yeah.
When else are they going to really get a run out and then be called upon in the league if they don't play in that game? And you're suddenly thinking those players that have been given a start. Obviously, Trossard starting was a must because yeah, he's coming in and we need to see him.
And
And
doesn't he?
Martinelli,
Sorry, go on, mate. Sorry, go on.
yeah, Martinelli just getting a rest. But
Yeah.
everything else, yeah, you give Saliba a little break. Um, I look at it. I just think, yeah,
Um, I just
no,
I think as well, right? I look at it this way. Trossard, even in a cameo and that match, he's an Arsenal player already. He suits the Arsenal style.
yeah, we spoke about being very, very good in one-on-ones,
Yeah,
and good
and
in good
he
close
thinks
in
on the ball,
close.
mate. He thinks on the ball. He's good with the ball at his feet. This is just things I've noticed in a
Yeah,
cameo and one match. He's good at the ball at his feet. He'll pass it if he has to. That's what you want. The qualities you want. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. No,
I.
definitely.
How do you feel about Sambi Lakonga?
It's another one, and then obviously we've only got into the first half, haven't we? Really, where we literally
Oh,
said about
yeah,
how we were. I thought we controlled the ball well, and as I say, City kind of resorted a little bit more to hitting the ball long
yeah, they did. Yeah,
over to try and get over and get Holland running on.
yeah,
And I thought a testament to how well we played in that first half and how well we controlled it. And the move to for it was Trossard's strike, wasn't it?
yeah,
It was a real decent move, and we played
yeah,
it
yeah.
down the line, and we got it moving across and switched across, and yeah, really good chance. But we were always saying that sub for Holding was going to have to happen
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we know what it's like a defender being on a yellow card. They,
On the
they will,
yellow, and
yeah,
we know Holt's prone as well, don't we? I
they're
mean,
prone. Well, yeah, prone,
yeah,
but it could just be a totally innocent kind of like nothing challenge like the first one, and
yeah,
then all of a
yeah,
sudden we're totally in the deep end. And yeah, we called that one, and that was going to be a change. But to then have a second player from the spine of that team come off at half time was probably too much, and that's probably what cost us the game, and because we lost the control of the game.
yeah.
With
Because
coming.
Partey needed to come off though, didn't he? Let's be honest. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, it was in. Yeah, we were all
yeah,
talking about. Well, has he been rested or did
yeah,
he get injured? Obviously, it's come out that obviously it had pain in his ribs,
yeah.
so he had an MRI scan, and it does look like now he's going to be all right for next week.
Cool.
So it isn't as bad. There's no breaks or anything like that. So yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, so he's come off, and would you say they're players do the same job?
Hell no, hell no.
Yeah, you look at it and you think the stats. I'm not one. I'm not going to smack down. Obviously, a lot's
No,
been said,
I'm not gonna dump on the lad. It's not fair.
we
It's not
we
fair.
know he's young, but we also know what Partey does, and obviously Partey's got the experience side in his pocket as well, where he's been there, he's done it, and
Um, for,
Sambi's still learning. He's
for
still
me,
just
sorry.
22, 23.
Yeah,
He's still got to learn the role and the areas that he's got to deal with. playing at Arsenal in that formation. But I don't think he covers the ground. He covers the areas, certainly the danger areas where the ball is active. I don't think he handles that very well, and yeah, just generally the awareness. I think, and you go to the goal, and I say, yeah, he could provide a bit more cover for the
Yeah,
two that have gone over to provide the 2-on-1 to
yeah,
try and stop Grealish.
yeah,
And then as that ball's coming in, he's there more in a position where he can kind of cut across and deal with the guy who scored. And yeah, he'd have had that chance. But obviously we've got Xhaka, who's obviously a little bit deeper in the line as well.
yeah.
But I think it just needed someone to just kind of engage in that player in and around the box. And then as it turned out, it was kind of just I'm just literally just looking at him in the box, and it was a lovely finish as well. You can't take nothing away.
By Ake, yeah.
Yeah, the goal we straight
It was a
in.
lovely finish, but I think there was a little bit of luck in it as well, to be honest with
Yeah, well, yeah, he's passed it into the corner.
you. Yeah.
If it doesn't go in, Haaland's probably got a tap in anyway at the back post.
And I've got to say that Turner didn't have a bad game.
No,
Turner did really, really well. I mean, they were going back to the first half for a second because I forgot
yeah,
about it. Sorry about this. Haaland was bearing down, and Turner got out and got the ball off him. Yeah,
he done that
Landon
cup out 2 or 3 times, didn't
yeah, he did. I mean,
he? Certainly in the second
I,
half.
I genuinely think that Turner is a good second string. He's got potential to be number one, but he's a good second string. You know, second
Yeah,
choice.
he's not done. He's not done bad.
No,
Like,
and yet he's got people telling him like, what was it? One of the old American. He used to play for Tottenham. American goalkeepers. Oh, if you want to get better, that's the one. If you want to get better at the game, and you know, you've got to leave Arsenal. Shut up, you Tottenham. Get out of it. You know, you
no.
can tell he wants to play for Arsenal. Tommy Asu's got his mojo back. I just wanted to say that as well, which is good. I'm feeling a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong. Zinchenko is amazing this season, right? I'm feeling a little bit sorry for Tierney.
Yeah, I thought he'd done well. I thought he'd done well first half.
Yeah. What was the other thing I was going to say as well? I'm going back to Sambi Lakonga for a minute, right? A couple of things.
Yeah, go on.
A couple of things I just want to say about him, right? He's young. He's got a lot of growing up to do by the looks of it. He doesn't know. He has trouble handling situations. I don't see that Odegaard was wrong doing what he did. End of the day, he's the captain. If he thinks you've done something wrong, you've got to take it. I can't work out how Sambi before he came to Arsenal, was a captain. I don't get it. But I will say for the kid, I'm not saying get rid of him, but he needs to go out on loan and he needs minutes.
Yeah. I was saying this would have been probably an opportunity to have this, and we'll go into the transfers. But
yeah, sorry, I just wanted to say that, though, you know.
No. Of course, but it's a lower level kind of Prem team,
Yeah.
or someone that's maybe striving for promotion.
Yeah.
In the championship, and I think you need that kind of hustle and bustle. Maybe just not really feeling the pace and able to deal with it, but maybe it's just that kind of just let's give him that little grounding, and then you can see what he's got. But and I say it's probably a little bit like in Ketia, where you suddenly think, when he come on and had his game time.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing in teams where we've taken off players, we've taken off this and that, and then he's left with we're playing with a weakened team.
Yeah.
And then we've seen the performances aren't there. But then when all right, you're taking off one of the key players in midfield, and midfield goes a little bit disjointed. Sambi, again, if he's trying to control it or do whatever, then he probably is going to struggle. But it's a big shirt to fill, isn't it? Or position to fill with Partey being there and the way he's doing.
Most
So
definitely. definitely. No
Yeah,
question.
but I'd say he does need game time. He does need a bit of consistency in that game time as well. So yeah, one of those. But again, I think that was the way that the game turned because yeah, had we only made that one change at half time, I think would have had a good grounding. And who knows what might have happened. Certainly when we brought on the other subs as well later on in the game,
Yeah,
which obviously gives a bit more impetus to us as well.
exactly.
But they just killed the game at the end of the day, didn't they? At the end, and
Yeah,
one by
yeah, yeah. They were just holding on to their 1-0, and that was that.
yeah, and yeah, I had people saying, "Oh, we haven't gone for it. We haven't really gone for it." So, well, to be honest, we did. We created a couple of chances. Even
I think we went for it. I would agree with you, Bray. I would agree with you, mate. We went for that. If anything, we definitely went for it in the first half.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe not so much in the second half, but definitely in the first half.
But I think the second half was masked because they had a bit more control of it. They had more
Yeah,
control
yeah,
of the
yeah,
position,
yeah,
whereas we kind of bossed that first half a little bit. We dictated to them in that first half, but because obviously we lost that little bit in the middle,
yeah,
and then they went the goal up. Um, yeah, well, I don't know. It's one of those, isn't it? It's just you look at it and you just think, well,
yeah,
yeah, what could have been? But as I say, as we've said, we've got bigger fish at this minute. We haven't got as much as I would love an FA Cup run.
yeah,
Go on to Wembley.
yeah.
We haven't got the numbers.
Um, I can't wait to see Haaland. I can't wait to see Haaland against Saliba, mate.
Oh, yeah,
I think that's going to be harder for. I think Haaland's going to be run ragged that day, mate. I'm telling you. Just the enforcer's prediction. Haaland will be run ragged when it's him against Sambi.
Sambi.
Uh, sorry, Saliba. Sorry, because we were talking about Sambi before. Sorry, Saliba. Yeah, Saliba,
Yeah,
mate, against Haaland's going to be. We'll see who's got the big kahunas then. You know what I mean?
we'll see.
Say again, mate.
We will see. Yeah, but
Oh yeah, totally.
I still think Holding was actually a good pick because
He frustrated
we
him.
knew.
He frustrated Haaland, didn't he?
Yeah, and it was it. The ball's going up. We'll always go and win the header,
Yep,
and you can see Haaland getting really, really frustrated. And
yep.
yeah, and I think that's why he resorted to going down like that
Yeah.
and then getting him booked because yeah, that's the only way to kind of get one up is to try and play him. But
Well, I've said
my
it before,
concern
Paul.
is, huh?
I've said it before. I'll say it again. If you can get in Haaland's head, he doesn't like it. If you can frustrate him, he's not the player. He doesn't go and score a hat trick. He 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 crumbles. I think he's a bit of a crumbler. If you can, if you can, not so much intimidating, but if you can get inside his head and make him think, hold on, this is going to be a hard game for me. I think that's part of the the psyche with Haaland. If you confront him and you can give him a good challenge, he's not so good.
Yeah,
I genuinely think that.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see when it just how he deals with a more physical kind of striker
Mm.
because yeah, we know he's quick, but as I say, is Saliba smart enough to deal with him? And we have I think we have seen little glimpses about Saliba being a little bit. I'm not. This is not a negative side, but yeah, maybe a little bit naive and where he goes for a challenge or whatever, and doesn't get the results what he needs to do. Um,
That's the problem of being a young player, though, isn't it? That's
exactly. But
one of the problems of being a young player. Yeah.
that's the one. That's the one concern. But that's again, it's one of those where you're suddenly thinking, yeah, will he step up and will he dominate? And that's yeah, great with his feet, but as I say, in a physical battle, that's a little bit different. And we know that he's had that experience with the players when he's played in France.
Well, I think he'll
Obviously,
rise to the challenge, mate. I
no,
genuinely
that's
think.
it.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope so. And yeah, it's three massive games, isn't it now?
Yeah. And then he'll have Rambo pulling faces at him, so that'll put Haaland off and all. Do you know? Have you noticed that Rambo pulls a lot of faces?
Yeah, yeah. No,
He's got a
need to
puck
stop.
face.
Need to stop
Right.
the extra from the Games of Thrones.
Yeah.
Story. So yeah, but,
Excuse me.
right, yeah. So yeah, FA Cup done, dusted,
Yep.
and yeah, we'll go into a live chat
Yeah, no
for
problem.
a
Crack
minute.
on. Crack on, mate.
Oh. Yeah, so Richard's in the house.
Good evening, Richard.
How is everyone? Yeah, we're all good. All good, Richard. Still there, but no real reason for them to shout out at the moment.
Can I just say something as well, just before
Go
we go
on.
on to what you're going to go on to?
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's really annoying me at the moment, right? Um, if you want to read any out, though, Paul, just read over the top of me, yeah? But all these pundits, well, I say all of them, not all of them, because obviously righty lovers, all this pundit hate. Gary Neville, Roy Keane. Oh, I'd still put my money on Man City. You know, and Gary, Arsenal aren't going to win it. Shut up, mate. You're just bitter and twisted. You've had
Yeah.
your time. If you've had your time, how they keep some of these people as part and who's the Richard Keys and Andy Gray? How are they still in a job?
No.
Just
I look at
absolutely,
Richard Keys. I think, yeah, there's just someone who he's we got a great audience the other side of the
absolute
world, but
idiots, absolute idiots, mate.
yeah,
You
it's
know,
just
I mean,
don't like.
we've got even other YouTubers who I won't mention, but we've got other YouTubers that are telling people to shut up with all the hate, and they support other teams. Telling
Yeah,
other people, pundits, people, idiots, to shut up with the Arsenal hate, just because a lot of it's down to jealousy, and I agree with them. A lot of it is down
jealousy
to
jumping
jealousy.
on the bandwagon, trying to be
Yeah,
relevant.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So,
it's
but
it
uh,
really annoys me. It really annoys me. I've got to be honest.
nobody likes us, so we don't care. We don't
Exactly,
care.
exactly.
Yeah, Richard said, yeah, it has to be Saka's the angle and the way it started outside the post and curled in. Yeah, yeah, agreed. But as I say, both goals.
I just wanted to make you sweat for a second, Paul. That's all it was.
No, it's not good.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's it. Richard said, yeah, when it went to Tomiyasu and dropped it, should have shouted so Tomiyasu got out of the way. Again, is it a language kind of barrier? I think Tomiyasu speaks fairly good English.
He does, I think. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
he's.
but
Yeah,
as I say, yeah, I think it's just again probably the atmosphere was like huge as well at that point, and you think just yeah, mate, maybe just got caught up in it. But yeah,
Saka had a quiet game against Man City, though, didn't he? In the FA Cup game, he was a bit quiet. I thought.
again, I think the first half I thought it was good, and as I say, I think as the game kind of like we stopped having that control. We didn't get as much service as he probably would have hoped. And then
Maybe so. Maybe so. You could be right, mate. It
yeah,
just seemed that he slowed down a bit, and he was, you know, out of salts, shall we say?
yeah. Plus, they also done a lot of running as well. Obviously, there's
Yeah,
a lot of running.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so yeah, let's just give this a change.
Oh yeah, I'd just like to say as well. Now we've got Trossard, Mudraku.
Yeah, who?
Yeah, he's in prison. I've decided to put because he doesn't look happy at all. When he got given his shirt, he didn't look happy. Okay, um, and he's got an 8-year contract. He's in prison, mate. He won't even get let out for good behaviour. He won't.
Yeah, no,
And did you know, Paul? I heard I don't know if this is 100% true, right? But apparently that Chelsea fella, well, I forgot his whatever his name is, right? The owner, he gave 20 million quid to the Ukrainian effort, war effort as well, and that's what swayed it. Apparently, it's what swayed it.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
it's rubbish.
by
It's
guns, get a player, you know. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, it's rubbish.
Yeah.
Um, I won't go into. We'll do this after. He's right though, Richard.
I'm so glad that John Gooner John, the geezer,
Sorry,
I've just checked the table and we're still top. He's on the ball, isn't he, John the geezer, isn't he? Hey, he's on the
he's
ball, the lad.
he's a good lad.
I've got a lot of time for geezer, mate. He's a lovely bloke.
Yeah, look, that was how important that Man United game, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, totally, yeah.
put the
And
pressure on us.
that game in hand gives us a buffer as well, doesn't it? It gives us a slight buffer as well. So
Yeah, no, of course. And yeah, evening Gooners, can I wish my little Goonerette Heidi a happy 13th birthday?
happy
Heidi,
birthday!
happy birthday, Gooner.
Come on, you gooners.
And Des, you still owe him.
Oh no, I do, John. Bloody, you made me swear there, John, and I don't like to swear on these shows. I know, John. Don't worry. You get whatever drink you want. When I come down to London, which hopefully will be in the next couple of months, right? You'll get whatever drink you want there, and lots of
Cool.
top. Yeah, you can come along as well, Paul.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, you can have a beer and all.
Just one.
Well, no, when I say beer, I mean beers. I don't,
No, no, that's all right. That's fine.
you know.
Just wanted to confirm.
Yeah. No,
Get it
I'll
signed.
try and get together with as many people involved with the channel as possible. Obviously, if they can make it, you know what I mean. But I can't give you a date yet because I've got to work a few
No,
things out. But I'm
well,
hoping to get down there soon.
yeah, we'll sort something out. And hopefully, give us enough notice. I'll see if I can get some tickets.
I'll probably give you a month's notice, to be honest, mate. If I'm
Yeah,
honest with
well,
you. Yeah.
if there's a game going on all around there and you're around about, then give us a shout and
Oh, that would be sweet, mate. Thank you very
I'll
much.
try and sort out something.
Appreciate that. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
no worries, no worries.
Well, I'm going to be
Um,
going. I'm going to be going to the Arsenal Newcastle match up here in May. So
oh, okay.
yeah,
Ooh,
look forward to that.
yeah.
9-0.
Yeah, FA Cup today. The ladies won 9-0 against Leeds.
They're on fire, aren't they?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
Leeds. Yeah,
Well done, ladies. That'll give something for Richard and Ange to talk about on next Thursday.
yeah, 8 different scorers. I think it was as well.
Flipping it.
Yeah, yeah, it's the right result. So
Yeah.
beat dirty Leeds.
Tell you what, you get your money's worth out of the ladies' game, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, no, they're doing well. Yeah, Richard. Yeah, great result. Some class goals, especially in the second half. So yeah, watch it on the old Arsenal app or whatever.
I'll have a look on YouTube later.
Yeah, or YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah.
freeway. It's fine. Yeah. As I say, it was that little moment from them hitting the post, wasn't it? They hit the post and their ball comes straight back out. It was that same passage of play, wasn't it? Which we didn't really kind of. Again, this is why I talk about that midfield just almost being a bit too pedestrian after having the post rattled to then the ball being dealt with in your
Exactly. Yeah.
box. And
Exactly.
you're still trying to crowd out and you're still trying to get in positions where you can still affect that play. So, yeah, Saka's obviously gone to to Grealish.
Yeah.
He needs someone then to kind of come across and be ready to deal with the other player in the box. And
Exactly.
people said about Saka leaving him. And it was like, well no, he hasn't left him. He's tried to block it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's
Exactly.
ball in and he's gone through him. But then someone should be behind him to go, right, bang, I'm on him. But it was like, okay, like that, and the ball's in the net. So, yeah. one little lapse and that's it.
Yeah, yeah. Still a good
Although
game. I mean, still a good
I'm
game.
not sure what a
Uh,
replay would have been. Though that would have been a bit.
do you know what as well? I think that was part of it as well. I don't think Arteta, because of the schedule, I don't think Arteta wanted a replay. Does it, would you agree with that, Paul?
What was that? Sorry, mate. You just dropped.
Sorry, I got the feeling that Arteta didn't want a replay.
No, I'd question when that would be played. I'm guessing that would have been played
It would have totally messed the
between.
schedule up, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if you picture, we've got. So we play obviously on the fourth, isn't it? Yeah, so fourth,
Yeah,
then and then it's the 11th, isn't it? Because it's 3 o'clock against.
yeah,
So I would imagine that would have gone in between. It probably would have gone in between those.
yeah. Because it's Everton next, isn't it?
Everton on Saturday,
And then it's Man City after that, isn't it?
Brentford at home
Oh,
the
it's Brentford
following
first.
Saturday.
Brentford
Yeah,
first, is it? Oh, right,
yeah,
okay.
and then we
Right,
play City on the Wednesday, the following Wednesday.
right. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah,
So,
I forgot about the Brentford game. I thought it was Everton then Man City, but yeah, Brentford.
so I say it's
Yeah,
real important because Tottenham are playing Man City
yeah,
weekend. Be
yeah.
an interesting game now, I think. So we can only hope.
It's the only time I want Tottenham to win.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, we can only hope that they actually put in a shift and actually do a job at home.
Yeah, but they only play for 45 minutes, don't they, Tottenham?
Well, yeah, they do. Yeah,
So, Son scored a couple yesterday, didn't he? So,
yeah,
he might turn up against Man City. You don't know. You don't know.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, say if we get to that Man City game with maximum points,
Yeah.
then it'll be interesting to see where we go.
I think as fans, we've just got to stay humble, and I think we've just like when people say, "Oh, do you think we can win it?" Yes, we can win it, but I don't want to jinx it. So I'd rather say, ask me again in the future when we're a little bit nearer.
Yeah,
But
this is what I'm saying. It's in our hands.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's it's not really in our hands. If we'd won it before,
hmm
or we were like in the top two the last couple of years, and we were in this position,
yeah,
we could say it's in our hands. When we're playing beyond where we should be, unless I'm talking about how where we should be is that was our thing was to get in the top four, wasn't it?
yeah,
So,
exactly, yeah,
and we're above that, and we're pushing on. So yeah, we're not. It's not in our hands because we still don't know where we're going to finish. We obviously want to finish as high as we can, but it's
of course,
not really something that we can really affect. We know we've got a machine in Man City
yeah.
that could blow anyone out of the water. But yeah, to say it's in our hands, I don't know. I don't agree with it. But
No,
we just got to make sure we get it sorted.
I'm not a kind of count your chickens before they hatch kind of guy anyway. You know what I mean?
No.
So yeah, we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely. Richard said, "Yeah, what do you guys think of Turner's performance on the night?"
We said it was
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah. I think they say there were a couple of little nervy moments where he's kind of delayed the ball a little bit when the ball's come back to him, and it looked a little bit nervy from being high up in the gods.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, maybe that's a ploy. I know Ramsdale does it a little bit, but Ramsdale looks a bit more calmer
yeah,
when he does
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But that's just to kind of invite the players on to kind of create a bit more space, as
Exactly.
opposed to doing it really, really quick. But yeah, overall, yeah, I don't think you can really fault him.
No.
John the Gooner, we've nicked Spurs chief scout. More sorrows at why our pain, have we?
Have we? That's news to me, mate.
Chief Scout, but they've not really signed anyone decent, have they?
Haven't we taken someone on who's really good at? Is it foosball? Is that how you pronounce it? Foosball. And
Football,
that's
yeah,
and that's what Martinelli used to play, wasn't it? He
yeah.
played a lot. He played a lot of foosball, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to see, but yeah, it's obviously good for like the younger years because it's
Mm.
more of a weighted ball.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly.
yeah, it's quite good.
That
Um,
tells you why he's got the good with ball at his feet then, because these balls are so light now. Someone's got to show him how to take a proper corner, though. Martinelli. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
there's one thing I noticed with him whereas he takes the crosses.
Yeah,
We go back to that Nketiah goal against United.
yeah, yeah.
That ball over from Xhaka. Whenever he crosses the ball, he has pace and the delivery. Whereas Martinelli's a bit more. He'll stand the ball up, and there won't be a lot of like pace to it. And that ball was just dangerous, like for anyone. And that's I think that's the difference between a Xhaka popping up and Martinelli. But as I say, it is a skill. Some people are just naturally gifted at that delivery
Exactly. Yeah.
from corners or whatever. Look at Ward Prowse or something like that. And it's like we're just like, yeah,
Oh well, to be fair, if we're going to talk about Ward-Prowse for a second, right? Okay, he should be in a better team, to be honest. And I used to live that. I used to live down Southampton, so I've got a lot of family that support them. You know what I mean? And fair
yeah,
enough. But to me, he's like what was his name? Someone who played for Southampton, Matt Letizia. He's
yeah,
going to be like Matt Letizia, just spend the rest of his career at Southampton the way it's going. And yet he should be at a better team, really.
yeah. No, definitely.
But,
It's he does look, yeah. Whether or not he could do a job at someone, say like us, it would be interesting. But
yeah.
yeah, it's not like we need another one like that because yeah, we are inundated, aren't we, with players like that. He's
Did,
playing a bit more forward, isn't he now,
yeah.
in his role at Southampton? So
We'll see. We'll
yeah,
see.
one of those. One of those. I don't know.
Did did you get excited when we signed Trossard, Paul? Did it excite you?
Yeah, but he was. If you remember my show where I said about the loan signing, I was thinking that
Yes.
we would have been able to get him on loan.
Yeah. Yes.
But
Yeah, I
yeah, an
remember.
actual deal in there, yeah, actually for him, certainly for that fee. Yeah, of course. So I've liked him for the last couple of years. Certainly those
Yeah.
games against us, and he looked
Mm,
dangerous. And it was certainly that dribbling and then the counter attacks where they used to put us on
yeah.
and
Yeah.
come at us. And I thought he used to run really well. So yeah, to see us signing for that price, I thought was decent business.
Here's a question for you, mate, because I know we are going to talk about the transfers in a bit or whatever. But just before we go into that, okay, Tielemans, right? He's not going to come to Arsenal now, is he? That
No.
that ship has gone. Why did we not go to Tielemans this Leicester this January and say, look, can we take Tielemans on loan with an option to buy? Why did we not do that?
Again, I think it probably would Leicester really kind of do that. In all
Probably.
honesty, they're playing. They've got a player there. It's their first choice player. They're not just going to give him away on loan for another team and then be weakened on their side. They'd probably want a straight fee and whatever. I know. Obviously, the contract's running low.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. I personally think Tielemans isn't the fit that we need now. Um,
I would tend to agree, to be honest. I would
yeah,
definitely tend to agree with you. Yeah.
I look at it now and I just again I don't feel like he's really like hit the ground running. I know Leicester have been poor this year, but again, you want sometimes a player to step up and drag your team. If he was scoring goals and he kind of constantly getting like kind of like man of the match performances for them whilst struggling, then you'd be like saying, well, there is a player there, but it's almost like he's gone into a shell or
Mm.
just joined the rot, and he can't even take a penalty.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah. yeah, yeah. But have you noticed as well that Arteta this season? I've noticed it mainly this season. He might have done it before, but I've noticed it mainly this season. Every player that he's bought is multi-positional.
Yeah,
So, so for example, if we use Trossard as an example, he can play where Martinelli plays. He can play where Nketiah plays. He can play where um, Odegaard plays. Yeah.
yeah,
He could possibly even play where Partey plays. So that's four possible positions. Okay. The kid I'm absolutely heartbroken for this season is Emil Smith Rowe because
yeah.
it just doesn't seem fair on the lad.
I think injuries haven't helped, but again, you can't stay still in a squad where you've got a player that's kind of almost I wouldn't say he's constantly getting injured, but obviously it's from September where he's kind of been picking up these niggles this year. I think that was September, wasn't it, where it started?
Yeah,
Played against, wasn't it? It was at Old Trafford, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Old Trafford he got injured, and then that's been it.
yeah. And we haven't seen him since really. It was about 10 minutes, wasn't it?
No,
Wasn't even 10 minutes. Did he not come on for about 10 minutes?
he had a little cameo.
Oh, all right, okay. I bow
He did.
down. I bow down to your superior knowledge.
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did. I'm not sure he did at home. I think it was an away game. But yeah, I think he come on. He certainly did. But yeah, I
But
don't know.
it's still a no-show, really, isn't it? If you break it down, it's still a no-show, isn't it?
It's still It's not. But when you're suddenly thinking, yeah, you want to get a game time, but then you want to get a couple of like games like with reserves or like under 21s.
What
Um,
What about Vieira, mate? How are you feeling about Fabio Vieira?
no, it was given a good important role, wasn't he, on Friday? And
Yeah,
as I say, he was busy again in the first half because we were on it.
yeah. There's a
But
player screaming to get out there, isn't there? There's a player screaming to get out.
yeah, but when we lose control of like the midfield and the balance of play in the second half,
Yeah,
um, and not being able to control that kind of thing. So yeah, when City were trying to get out, we were winning the ball back again and pushing them back. Second half, it didn't happen, and yeah, you saw Vieira kind of popping up on Saka's side just to try and help out. Um, before they got subbed off. But yeah, it was a game of two halves really. I think in the end of the day, where we're in control one half, and then they come through and then kind of killed the game. But the, I
well,
think there is a player there definitely,
yeah, yeah.
but you need a bit of
So
time. You do need time.
he needs to do an Nketiah as well, bulk up a bit.
Bulk up, but again, also get used to everything.
Yeah,
Again, it's new surroundings, new.
it's the toughest league in the world, isn't it, mate? Let's be
Yeah,
honest, it's the toughest league in the world. So yeah, yeah.
yeah. Not every player can deal with the physical and the speed.
That's
Coming
it.
from those other countries, and you look at it like that, it's a big step up.
Well,
But
players in point. Uh, we mentioned him earlier. Anthony hasn't stepped up yet, has he?
no, no,
Nunes from Liverpool hasn't stepped up yet. Because, excuse me, you can't just come to the Premier League, put your boots on, and go, boom, here I am. Some players can, but not all of them. You know, I
yeah,
mean, we could talk about Terry Henry if you want. You know, but
yeah, no, I'm
that we've run
not
out of
sure.
time. We've run out of time. You know what I mean? Oh, mate. Do you like what Edu's been doing this season? Just bringing in players without much of us getting to know what's going on. Because even Trossard was a bit out of the blue, wasn't it? All looking at me.
Yeah, there were talk, but again, I kind of like that because I look at the fact because it used to be like that with
Mm,
Arsenal, and Arsenal used to be such a closed shop, didn't
yeah.
it, where nothing would come out until it was announced.
No, that's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There always
That,
seems to be this little kind of, and it started with Ornstein, didn't it? Where like in and
yeah,
around like the thing, and it would be coming out with these rumours, and it kind of got worse and worse. We went through the Higuain kind of like rumours He's on
Yeah,
a
yeah.
plane, and everyone, all Arsenal fans on Twitter and online, were literally trying to search for a flight of that he was on, which he never was. And yeah, just I mean, just it just creates all this kind of drama. It's the same with this Mudrich thing, where it's just, and a lot of it is all down to agents and playing games, and
Yeah, wanting their bit of the pie and all that sort of stuff. And yeah,
yeah, I think
but
we're past now. We've been able to really do stuff totally without any smoke, but
who
that
was your
it's
most who was your most surprising signing back in the early days? I won't say of all time. Back in the early days, who was your most surprised signing? You thought I never saw that coming.
well, I think it'd have been Sol Campbell, wouldn't it?
Are you going with Sol Campbell? Are you? Yeah,
I would say
it's a good pick. A good pick.
I
I
don't
would
think
say.
anyone. I don't think anyone really. If I don't think we heard any kind of rumor of that he would come in.
I don't think the
It
Tottenham fans knew
was
even
only,
anything either.
well, it was announced when it after a press conference. Well, no, it was at the press conference. They thought that Arsene Wenger was going to talk about a match. I think that's how it worked. And then he come out and go, "We've got a special announcement. This
All
is
right.
a new signing." And then in walked Sol Campbell,
All
and
right.
to see that, and then because all it was about him renewing a contract, or Tottenham trying to get him to sign a contract, and then all of a sudden, in he walks. I think that would be the most surprising one, because yeah, we wouldn't have expected it, and I certainly don't
He
think
wanted
we.
to win. He wanted to win stuff though, didn't he? And he wasn't
Oh,
going
of
to win.
course,
He wasn't
he was
going to
right.
win nothing at Tottenham, was he?
Just think, if
That's
he was still playing now, he still hadn't won nothing.
that's true. No, yeah, yeah, it's true. Yeah,
Because
30 years.
Campbell
Yeah,
nearly like 55, or I'm not
yeah,
sure. It must have. I may be doing him disservice. Maybe in his 50s, still.
yeah. He's got to be, isn't he? He's got to be.
So yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah, I think that was mine. What was yours?
I've got to say, Bergkamp for me. I never thought Bergkamp would come to us. I was surprised by that. But then I was younger then as well. I was easily led. You know
Easily
what I
led.
mean? Yeah, easily led. Totally mystified by it all. And I, I didn't know then what I know now. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So
He
like,
don't look like a guy who could be easily led.
hey,
He don't look
no,
like a guy who could
can't,
be easily
I
led.
can't, I can't be, mate. It's just. I was looking for the sympathy. You know what I mean? No, not at all. No, but I just it was out of the blue for me, and I got a little bit excited about it,
Yeah,
and
I'll tell you what.
he totally lived up to the hype, I think.
This man.
You know it.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I got as excited about as I got as excited about Bergkamp, I got as excited about Odegaard, and a lot of my Arsenal mates, yeah, and some people on this channel who will remain nameless thought I was mental, yeah. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. You take this is what I say to people, and this is why Arsenal fans say I won't believe it till he's holding the shirt or he's got the pen on the contract. You know what I mean? And never a truer word said. In this game or with this team, you cannot believe it, right? Until that paper is signed or they're holding up that shirt in the press room or on the pitch. I mean, don't get me wrong, Alex does a great job with all the rumours and everything. But I'm sitting there sometimes going, nah, nah. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe, nah. Do you know what I mean? But that's what it all is now, isn't it? It's just to draw you all in and get you all excited. Because
Yeah.
I got excited about Mudryk, and look what happened there. In fact, I got that excited about Mudryk, Paul, and when he said I only want to play for Arsenal, I thought, oh, it's guaranteed. And of course, Geezer, John, has proved me wrong. Fair play to him. But
Yeah.
I do take people, I must admit, genuinely, I take people on their word. And to me, he had given his word, you know. But
Yeah.
anyway, it doesn't matter now.
No, it's all good.
Plus, Trossard was £60 million cheaper, so, you
Yeah. Yeah.
know.
Yeah. No, it's definitely. Good evening, Kwaneli from South Africa. Hope you're well.
Good evening, mate. Good evening, mate. Hope
Good
you're enjoying
evening.
the show.
Yeah. Hope you're enjoying the Arsenal chat.
Oh, we
Oh,
haven't even mentioned Jacob, have we? Jacob Kiviov or Kiwi fruit, whatever he's called. You know, Jacob Kiwi,
yeah,
something like that.
so he was on the bench on Friday,
They're
but
totally rating this kid, by the way, as well. Um,
yeah,
Lewandowski said you've got a good player there, so I don't know if that's a seal of approval or what, but you know.
yeah, I don't know.
I must admit, I didn't watch the Poland matches in the World Cup, so I never saw him.
Yeah, I think it's, again, it was one of those. We talk about what our priorities are,
Yeah,
and that was a priority, but it wasn't in the top
the
two.
main priority. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, if the deal could be done, then it's done, and I'm happy that happens because it now means that yeah, that's something we don't have to worry about or concentrate in the summer.
Mm.
So we can just make sure yeah everything else is wrapped up. But the
Yeah.
party's position is the main one now.
So
So
Caicedo, is it Caicedo? Yeah, isn't it Caicedo?
yeah,
What's your What's your thoughts on that, man? How are you feeling about that?
I mean you can only really take the performances against us as a barometer, really, where you look at
Yeah.
them playing in their midfield.
Mm.
And I go back to that game, and it's the infamous game like last season where they beat us 2-1,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they dominated us in midfield. And Mbappe, who actually scored the second goal, he's actually retired now,
All right.
like 22 or 23, and he went to play away international, and they found a heart defect in him. So he actually
Oh yes, yes, that was the cute. Yeah,
and
I remember that.
Caicedo actually assisted that goal, and it was a really
Mm.
good move.
Mm.
Uh, and yeah, he set that goal up. But look, from what I've heard and what I've seen, he does look a decent player.
Mm.
Again, you look at
It's all about the price tag though, as well, isn't it, mate? Let's be honest.
the price tag. That's a key. You
Brighton
know,
know how to make money. They know how to make money, mate.
yeah, not being pushed over, but it goes to show how differently Arsenal could have become had we had that kind of brass backing us when teams were coming in for our players at
Yeah, I
those
get you.
where
I get you.
we were being shafted all over for our jewels, and we hardly got a transfer fee that recognised any of those players.
Any
And
talent or any quality, yeah, yeah.
you go back to all those players that left. We've really hardly got any real massive like fees or certainly value for those players,
Mm.
and mainly because yeah, we were letting contracts go down a little bit more. We weren't a little bit on it on that side, but yeah,
We do like to squeeze the juice out of a contract, don't we?
yeah. But I'd be saying that we'd say, well, no, we got a price. No, you're not having him.
Yeah.
Just like what they're doing now when they're saying no, 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 we're not going to sell him. Blah blah blah.
Well, Paul, this is how crazy it's gone, mate. Right? Because I know that Brighton bought Casado for 5 million quid.
Yeah,
Right? 5 million quid. Now they're saying they want 90 million quid. Right?
it's got 30 games I think for Brighton
Yeah.
before last season. Or yeah, I think it was 30. Was that last season and then whatever this season?
Yeah, exactly. And he's apparently he's gone on strike, and they've told him not to come back to training or the club until the transfer window ends.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. Right? If you bought a kid for 5 million in 30 games, how does he jump to 90 million? Or even, let's just say, for argument's sake, 65 million, 60 million, which was the first bid we put in. Yeah, in 30 games, how does he jump from 5 million to 90 million? I just, it blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind, mate.
yeah. I think you can say a lot about. I think a lot of it comes from. Unfortunately, again, you look at this second wave from Chelsea, and we saw it
Yeah,
in
yeah,
2004 with 2004 2005 with Roman coming in and blowing. the whole kind of market out of the water again because what he was doing, we'd come in for a player. Obviously, this is obviously after the Invincibles, so we're
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
strengthening
yeah,
those players and getting players in. But we're going for players like Sean Wright Phillips at that point.
yeah,
17 million to come in for him. They've
yeah,
then just gone and said, all right, yeah, 24 million or something like that. So
yeah,
straight up, they had Scott Parker, they had I think Lampard. You
yeah.
look at
Drogba.
Robin, Drogba.
Yeah,
But it was done with an approach that was correct because, well, I wouldn't say correct, but obviously it was Mourinho in charge, and he said,
well,
"Hey, I want this player in this
yeah,
position, I need this
yeah,
player in this position," and it was done with a plan. This
yeah,
second time round, he's just absolutely crazy. They've got about nine wingers,
yeah.
about nine right wingers, and you're thinking just like every single player they're almost trying to put a bid in for him because they don't want other teams to get him, just like they done
With Madrid.
back
Yeah,
then.
and
And
they've done it again with Madrid, haven't they?
yeah,
Now, I read on Google tonight. Again, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you take this with a pinch of salt or it's true, but apparently FIFA aren't happy with the conduct of Chelsea regarding the Mudryk deal. So, are they in trouble or aren't they? Is the fair rules keep coming into play or isn't it? Only ever seems, I've noticed it only ever seems to come in for Arsenal. It doesn't seem to come in for anybody else.
well, again, I think they've changed the rule, haven't they, with regards to these 10-year contracts.
Mm,
You know, sign that. But I don't know who the guy. I can't remember the name of the guy. They signed him originally on a 10-year contract. It just means they can spread the fee over those years. And
yeah,
you picture like the value of that player just going down in a line over those years, and it worked out like you'd be paying. So certainly for Modric, not Modric, Mudrich,
yeah,
because he's in the mud at the minute.
yeah.
So yeah, 25 million with his wages and say signing on fees. So you'd be looking at that. So rather than say spending I mean, 200 grand a week, and then the transfer fee isn't going to affect financial fair play like that. So they've come out and said, oh yeah, it's going to be 5-year max. But yeah, something does need to happen because every so often there's a team that is finding a loophole, a way to get round. It happened with PSG
Yeah,
where they suddenly started getting all these different kind of sponsorship deals
yeah,
to get around it. And look, we know FIFA and UEFA will throw the book at any quick chance at an English team. Right?
yeah.
They don't like us as a nation. I imagine it really pains them, and they're really bitter that English teams do well in Europe. I don't think they really like us when we are, say, like champions of whatever trophy we go for. And I think, yeah, as a kind of punishment, I think they want to be able to throw the book at one of these English clubs for flouting those rules.
And
So
I'm not just saying this because I live in Newcastle, right? But look at Newcastle. In all fairness, they could buy any player they want, right? But I think they've gone about it the right way. They're not trying to they're not trying to gazump anybody. They're not trying to hijack a you know. If they put in a bid, if you don't accept that bid, they put in another one. If you don't accept that one, right, we'll look somewhere else.
yeah,
You know what I mean? How Arsenal do it as well. We'll put in this bid. If you don't accept it, we'll put in another one. And if we really want the player, we'll put in a third bid. And if you don't, on the third bid, go, yeah, all right, and no problem, we'll go somewhere else. Simple as. That's what I call a certain kind of conduct. But I will say this: if we're running out of time now because there's only a few days left, isn't there? It's
yeah,
Tuesday,
Tuesday, yeah.
end of Tuesday, yeah. If Caicedo, if we don't get Caicedo, is there anybody in your mind or anybody that you think we could get before Tuesday to be cover for Partey? That's a really, really sort of like strong question, but you know, because the time's against us. The time
Yeah,
is against us.
the time's massively against, and you look at it like that, and you think they're talking that our summer transfers are going to be not affected by us if we go for Caicedo.
Yeah,
So I'm
that's what
talking
they're saying. Yeah, I was going to bring that into it as well, but you've obviously brought it up. So
a potential bid
yeah.
for Rice
Mm.
could be an option. Look, I'm telling you, if you're going to throw, it's probably again, this is all down to if West Ham would want to do business. But if you suddenly threw money and you say, right, okay, it's going to be 80 million in
Mm.
the summer, but if you then suddenly said, all right, we're going to chuck like 80, 90 million on Mudrich, who's only played 30 odd games or whatever, 20 odd games,
Mm.
um, we've got a proven Premiership midfielder coming in. Yeah,
I'd have Declan Rice all day long, mate. I don't know about you,
yeah,
but
it'll be an expensive one, but then what price to make it happen? Again,
that,
I don't think we should be held to ransom. Again, it's all
no,
down to West Ham if they want to sell it. But
I don't think Arteta's one to be held to ransom though, because he could have kept. In fairness, if we go back to Modric just for a second, he could have kept bidding and kept bidding.
yeah,
But
yeah,
he got to a point, and Edu obviously got to a point and went, you know what, go to
yeah,
Chelsea,
move on.
go to
Yeah,
Chelsea. You know what I mean? We've offered you the golden goose. We've offered you this, this, and this. We're top of the league. There's a good chance you could win you could win a league medal. Um, you suit the Arsenal way of playing, probably. You know, what I mean, we'll never know now, but that was probably thrown in there as well. Apparently, Zinni's one of his best friends, and that would have they would have had that camaraderie and all that sort of thing, connection. But yeah, I agree with Arteta. You draw a line in the sand, and go, well, it would have been great, but either you or your agent are too greedy. I think with Mudryk, it was more his agent than the actual player. But
yeah,
that's just the way it is, isn't it?
it is, and yeah, I'm pleased. I'm pleased that what we've done business
Mm,
wise.
mm.
But yeah, a
Oh,
little bit. Yeah, a little recent development. Not so much recent, but in the last few hours, yeah, Fabrizio said, yeah, we've not submitted a new bid after our last one yesterday,
hmm
but the club are discussing it, and we're looking at potentially a 70 million proposal with add-ons.
yeah,
So yeah, we know Brighton aren't or are insistent in saying he's not for sale, and by putting him away from training, it's almost like he's away totally. Some people would just say go on strike, but if
yeah,
they say come to training and he doesn't turn up, that makes it a bit more worse. Now they've just taken ownership and just said, yeah, no, you're not coming in. So
exactly.
that that does it away. It's like that Gordon, isn't it? Gordon suddenly just didn't turn
Oh,
up for training.
mate, that's mental, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
absolutely mental.
So yeah, I could see it going and going, but look, they can't have a player that is going to be very unhappy. What you'll will find is that it's probably going to be a late one,
Yeah, yeah,
but they can't have a player that is that insistent or that down because again the manager wants players that want to play for the club. So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, look at that
yeah,
guy as well. He scored yesterday for Tottenham, right? He was at Everton, had the medical, was
yeah, oh,
basically
yeah,
had the pictures taken, all that sort of stuff, and then Tottenham come in and went, oh, do you know what? We'll have him.
yeah. Well, this is the big thing with they're talking about Chelsea coming with another bid.
Yeah, yeah,
They're trying to get over our bid.
yeah. I'm
Again,
thinking,
this is
yeah, I'm thinking that might happen again. You know, and they don't care neither. They don't give a monkeys, mate.
no. But yeah, it is what it is,
It is,
and
mate. It
whatever
is.
cards are dealt with, we'll have to deal with them. But Yeah,
we've got a bit more depth, but I do think we need a bit more. But as I
yeah,
say, the time's running out. We've run out of time. Um, but I'm happy with what we got. At least we didn't get nothing this time. Like we did last season. So it's an
yeah.
improvement. You know.
Look, I'll say you have to look for solutions within what you've got, no
Yeah,
matter what. At any time, any signings are bonuses.
exactly.
But yeah, I look at it. I'd rather us not spend ridiculous money because again, if you'd say that Caicedo is a 60, 70 million pound player, I wouldn't thought so. If everyone was moaning about Ben White being really expensive at 50 million,
Hmm.
how do we still? I don't know values obviously have gone up and shot up a little bit, but probably in that the then money was probably about 45 million.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
In all honesty,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
suddenly think that's still it's still big money.
Well, part of me, Paul, also says right that if you pay 80 million for a kid, or you pay, let- what do you think? So we've put in a bid for 70, haven't we? With add
60,
60. Is that 60 with add-ons? Yeah,
60 straight, I believe.
60
No
straight.
add-ons.
Okay. So let's just use that as the barometer here. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's say we get 5 years out of the kid. Right. You're not going to get your 60 million back. And that's another thing that kind of gets me with these prices are you buy players usually to get what you can out of them and then try and sell them off, sell them at the right time and sell them for a profit.
Yeah,
Yeah? You're not going to do that with Caicedo if you're paying 65, 70 million, 80 million. Unless unless there's a boom in the market, right, which there could be, right? But you can't tell me that 5 years down the line, 8 years down the line, however, because they might have contract extensions and all that stuff, right? That you're
yeah,
going to get your 60 million back. You're not. You're going to get a quarter of it, if that.
yeah.
Do you
But
know
it's
what
the
I mean?
same with this with the accounting, and they're talking about these where you do these 10-year kind of like contracts.
Mm.
You've suddenly signed this on, and you say the whole value of the player. Obviously, my finger's going the other way,
No, I
so,
get you. I get you.
but it's going up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, I understood where you were
It's,
coming from.
it's going in a line, but then if you suddenly say, okay, you've signed a player for 10 years, what happens if that player is or has done a Pepe?
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
signed a Pepe or you signed a player for 70, 80 million, and then, yeah, he has a good first season, and obviously that value is obviously every year just dropping down. But if he then has a real flatline season or he gets injured, he hasn't got that value. What the accounting apparently saying, you've still got say 3 years, 3 years later, like a £1 million player, but he's probably only worth about like £2.50. Well, Pepe a
Well,
fiver.
let's be honest, mate, and unless you can think of somebody else as well, for me, the only maybe two actually, the only two Arsenal players in Arsenal at the moment that if we were to sell them, we would make a profit on, right? Is
Yeah,
Saka and Martinelli. They're the only, but Martinelli's just signed a contract, good lad, 4.5 years, keep it going, son. Do you know what I mean? And hopefully we're going to get Saka to sign the thing. Hopefully we're going to get Saliba to sign the thing. Or maybe Saliba we might make a profit as well. You know, if we were, I'm not saying sell those guys. All I'm saying, guys, in the chat, so you understand where I'm coming from, they're the only three players, in my opinion, right, that if we were to sell them tomorrow, that we would make a profit on. Do you not agree?
not Ramsdale.
Huh?
Not Ramsdale.
No, because we paid 50 million for Ramsdale, didn't we?
30. 30.
I thought it was 50.
No, not 50. Not
Oh,
50. Not
right. I
expensive.
thought. Okay, well,
What
no.
about Odegaard?
It's
Odegaard's
possible.
probably
See,
worth about
oh,
60
see,
million in new money now, isn't it?
you're just being nasty now, aren't you? You put me on the spot, right? Because end of the day, we ain't ever going to sell Odegaard, right? Ain't going to happen, right? And secondly, yes, we could sell him at a profit, but I don't want to. And I'm the enforcer, right? And
I'm
I'm
never
telling
going to sell Saka.
All right, touche. But all I was saying was, you understand where I'm coming from when I say these things, yeah? End of the day, yes, we could sell Odegaard at a profit, possibly, possibly. But he'd have to go to somewhere like Chelsea or Newcastle, I think, or PSG to get the profit. That's the other thing as well. It's the teams that you would have to sell them to get the profit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Well,
for example, if you were going to sell Saka, yeah, to keep him out of the Premier League, you'd have to sell him to either PSG or Real Madrid, as an example. There's probably a couple of other teams out there as well that you could, but they're the ones that if you were going to sell him, they're the ones you would sell him to. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Not that, yes, I agree with you, Paul. We're not selling Saka. I'm just using him as an example.
yeah.
Anyway,
No, it's going to be it's going to be an interesting couple of days, and yeah, you've got I think that Martin Zubimen is Real
Zumendi,
Social
yeah, but he
Zubimen.
doesn't want. Apparently, he doesn't want to come. Well, what I heard, I mean, there's loads of things flying around, isn't there? He doesn't want to leave Sociedad in January. He would come to us in the summer, but he doesn't want to leave them now. He wants to see the season out, apparently.
Yeah, we'll have to see again. It's all about money.
I was going to say, as John the Geezer would say, if he's still in the chat, money talks, doesn't it?
Well, your money does talk, and yeah, as I say, at that fee potentially. Obviously, we know Spanish sides are needy of a little bit of the money side of
Mm-hmm.
things. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
may be a deal that would be better for all parties. Being
I,
as in,
I thought we might go in for someone from the old lady, old Juventus, because they're deep in trouble, aren't they?
there
But
was wasn't it Chiesa was the other one.
yeah,
I'm trying not to get too invested in all this because yeah, we know we almost kind of set hopes on a certain player that we hear, but we know
oh
that
mate, yeah, yeah.
there's
I
about
mean, me
four.
and you could spin a list off. We could spin a list off now who we would like, but
Yeah,
you have to be realistic, don't you?
but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we go. But yeah, I think Tuesday's going to be a big day.
Yeah, it is. And
Uh,
watch it. We might do an Arsene Wenger 5 minutes to midnight. Do you know what I mean? He's
yeah,
done that
well,
a few times, hasn't
for Ozil,
he? Yeah, yeah,
Ozil come in, didn't he?
yeah,
Late on, so
yeah. We
yeah,
might do a last minute. You know, I was quite impressed actually that we got Trossard sorted out for the Man United game
yeah,
because
yeah,
they
no,
did that in a day and a half, didn't they, or something ridiculous like that, wasn't it?
yeah, done really quick.
Yeah. So it just shows how fast they can when they want to. It shows how fast they can move, innit?
Yeah, yeah. So I might do a transfer. We might do a transfer deadline show. I don't know on
On
Tuesday.
Tuesday, I can't be on Tuesday, mate. I work Tuesday
Yeah,
nights.
I
I'm
might
a shame.
waffle. I might waffle for an hour or so. Just
You do it, mate. You
I
do
might
it.
do my
Yeah.
Jim White kind of impression
Yes, mate.
with no yellow. So
Oh, he does me nothing on Talksport. He does. He
it's
does
just
me nothing. Him. He
yeah.
don't like Arsenal either, does he?
No, none of
Him
them.
and that. What's his? Who used to own the main Crystal Palace? Simon, whatever his name is.
So yeah,
Oh, shut up.
Jordan. Yeah,
You know. Yeah,
yeah,
mate. Get this cannon fodder people on for a transfer window special. Yeah, that'd be
yeah,
cool.
yeah. We'll sort something out. I'll have a word with Alex there, and we'll see what we can do. But yeah, I think time has
Yep.
come and gone. There's been loads of comments in the chat, but sorry, couldn't read them all out. Yeah, really appreciate your input because that's what makes the shows. Um,
Totally.
please give us a like and subscribe both to my channel in the North Bank and also to Cannon Fodder TV if you're not already. So yeah, really help us in the long run. So
Before I,
Gooners, stay
before I
safe.
go, Paul, before I
Oh,
go,
go on,
can I just do one thing?
go on.
And I'm not sure if she's been in the chat tonight or not, but my number one fan, just in case she watches later. Hello, Sue. Hope you're doing well. Take care. Thanks a lot.
Oh God, yeah, yeah, missed that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that your contractual announcement now? Have you,
it is now. It is now. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the perks, mate. I don't know what they'll be, but there should be perks, and it's like that's how you get free
breaking
stuff.
news?
That's how you get free stuff, isn't
Yeah, breaking news. Des the Enforcer has signed a contract.
it? Don't tell me why.
No, no, we'll leave it there.
Right, she's
Goes
sat
on?
in
What goes on YouTube stays on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
But
Thanks
yeah,
for, thanks for having me on, Paul. Cheers, mate.
no worries, Des. No, thank you very much. But yeah, guys, really, really good stuff. And yeah, we'll be back next. Yeah, we'll be back next Sunday for another Sunday show when we dissect
Everton.
our trip to Goodison Park and what
Do you think
what's
that
your
might? Do you
prediction?
think that might be a flood of goals, Paul? Do you think that might be a flood?
Tell you what, there could be a flood. I'm not sure potentially goals, but I
Mm,
think a lot of tough tackles.
yeah,
Certainly, if Sean Dyche
yeah, because
is announced, which I imagine he will be in the next couple of days.
he eats
If
glass and bricks, doesn't he? He eats glass and bricks.
no, well, look, you look at it like that. The last time that he played, Saka had his bits kicked out of him.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So Saka needs protecting. He needs
Yeah.
protecting.
So, but I think we're stronger to deal with stuff like that now.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think we'll go there at a good time. I think so.
come
Yeah,
on, you Gunners.
yeah. Well, that's it. Hopefully, another 3 more points or 3 more points. Yeah, three
Yeah,
points. Three
three
points.
more points. Yeah, yeah. No, you
Let's
were right the
be
first
there,
time.
fine. Does it sound right?
Yeah,
But it's been good. Yeah, I'm the Bray, and yeah, you've been listening to Des the Enforcer and part-time greeting announcer. So yeah, thank you, everyone. I'll speak to you soon.
take care.
Come on, you gooners.